Welcome students to class 11 English classes conducted by your English teacher Monica Kaur. Before I start with Hornbill, I would like to request you all to like and subscribe my channel. Chapter 2, We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, Part 5.
Welcome back students to class 11 English, part 5 of Hornbill, chapter number 2, We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, written by Garden Cook and Ellen East. Students, today we are going to do the summary of page number 4 as well as the relatable textual expression and the vocabulary of the summarized paragraph. Okay? But before I will initiate or start the page 4 summary, so let's recapitulate the story hurriedly. The story starts that the narrator and whole of the family started their voyage in 1976 July, and their voyage was really very beautiful, very nice, very pleasant, up to the kilometers 1,05,000, and means it was to the west coast of South Africa to Cape Town. And they were to the west, so now they were heading towards to the east, and then to the southern part of the part of that ocean. So they knew it that southern part of the ocean was full of dangers, so they required the experienced people with them. So they called up a very experienced Larry Region and Herb Sigler with them, a very experienced crew members as well as the navigators. They started their journey. They had gone to the east coast of Cape Town, that is 3,500 kilometers only. That means within the 2 days they had visibly seen the very atrocious weather where the wind was moving like a monster, and whole of their jib and their mast, everything was of no use. But they were they were so determined to enjoy that. Even in that atrocious weather, they enjoyed New Year as well as that Christmas, with the hope of that the weather would going to change. But the weather became more and more atrocious, as not only the waves were a major part of it, but the wind was not a major part of it, but the waves were also coming onto the monstrous way. Like waves were means about 15 meters long up to the mast, and the whole of the water was splashed inside the boat. Not only this, the back as well as the front deck was totally being squashed, totally being broken. Not only this, the upper part of the boat was also being that broken. So the water was coming from every corner or every part of the boat. Okay. Not only this, he himself was in pain because he was too much injured. He went inside the water, and it was that when he was about to die, suddenly, because he had already applied an oil and was having a life jacket, he came out of the water and he mustered up his energy and went back to the ship. But when he went back to the ship, there also means it was not a merry-go kind of the landing to him. The one of the another wave from the two sides of the boat jolted the boat, and his head was totally being collided with the starboards, as well as his teeth broken. And what happened that his left part of the ribs also broken. He was bleeding very badly. He wanted to see the condition of the rest of the boat parts, but he would not leave that steering wheel. Suddenly from the side, his wife came as a mercy on him, and there he called her to just grab or hold the steering wheel, and he went downstairs. And it was a horrifying scene when he saw that the water was really up high, and there Larry and Herb was pumping out the water like a madman. That the debris, the things that were floating inside the water were actually making the water to stop going out of the pipe. He had to fetch the toolbox, and it was in the children's room. Now the water was at its alarmingly high, that sometimes he was swimming and sometimes he was crawling. He went to the children's room. He fetched there the toolbox as well as the canvas, a waterproof sheet to cover the boat. That was a temporary kind of the thing that he was doing. And there he asked his children whether they were all right or not. So they told him that yes, they were all right. But suddenly Sue told him that she had a great large bump on her forehead. But this was not a time for him to love, to cuddle, or to pay sympathy for that, for those of the things to his children. So what he did, that he went back. He went back to repair the boat, and he spread the sheet over it. The water was coming still, but it was not coming inside the boat. Whole of the cabins were filled with the water, so they spent whole of the night outside under the canvas. They tried to call the help from the other ships, but their radio was not at all working. Their communication system had been broken because of the remote area as well as of the weather conditions. Now what comes next, students? Let's talk about. The whole night they were sitting outside. They were not at all slept. And now that January 3, they were pumping the water out of the boat, and it helped them. Now they were in a controllable that condition. Almost it was a 15 hours for them that they had survived, even when their Wavewalker had been nearly to the smashed out. It was totally broken off. Okay, then also Wavewalker was not at all in that condition to move further to make their voyage completed. Even means they would not be able to take Wavewalker 100 kilometer, means towards to the east of that Australia. They were really in a mess. They survived, means almost over there. The additional engine of the Wavewalker had stopped working. Not only this, according to the calculation of author, there were nearby by two, means in that 100 kilometer there were two very small islands. It was like a very so much small that even if they missed it, it could happen to them. Okay, so what happened? These were two that islands. It was one was Ile Amsterdam and another was that Ile Saint Paul. Okay, now they survived almost 48 hours, and water was now January 3 was so like this that they had completed it. Means no that wind was there, no waves were there. It was a very quiet day. January 4, water levels started dipping. They were in relief, but still they were not in that position to host or to sail that Wavewalker. They were fear that Wavewalker would going to break down in between only. They were now in the direction of Ile Amsterdam, and almost after students 48 hours they had means eaten something else. But it was not that they had a full meal. They had the leftover meal with them, a cracks or just means that sausages that was there. It was how many that members were there? 6 members were there. Now they had decided that they would going to eat less because they had to keep going on with that only ration what they had with them. Now it comes the January 5. Weather again was becoming a monster for them. Again the wind started. Suddenly a 6-year-old boy came to that nearby his daddy and asked him in a very innocent way that would they going to die? And suddenly he said no. Suddenly he said that even if they would die, it was not at all a regression, because they people are not at all afraid to die because they all were together. That very time, suddenly, Suzanne, a 7-year-old girl who herself was in a very acute pain, made a very beautiful painting, and that she rewarded it to her father. And it was a caricature of her father being a captain. Again he went, and this made author again to work on the counting. He counted, and it was like 4 p.m. or nearby 5 p.m. They would going to at least had Ile Amsterdam, and he went back to the one of the cabin to sleep, because what? Because he was not able to sleep from many of the days. He went there and he slept after that trust of all the members. What comes next? Would they get that Ile Amsterdam, or would they not able to even reach alive? That I will tell you in my next video. Okay, let's go on to the textual expression. Here the first textual expression, or one textual expression, is pinpricks in the vast ocean. Now understand what is pinpricks. Pinpricks means a small, very very small thing. Okay, vast means very large, spread it over to a large area. Okay, now what it means? Small island in the large ocean appear like what it is? It is tiny pinheads. Okay, now small island, very small island, even if they crossed, even if they were not alert, so they could have crossed those islands, means they were too small for them to see it. Okay, so they were like what? They were like the beads, small beads that was there on that pins, on to the that needles. Those beads, they were like that. So they were too small to be seen, and if they would not been able to judge that, they could have missed it. That is called pinpricks in the vast ocean. Okay. And now let's go on to vocabulary. The first is hull. Hull means frame. Okay. The hull of boat was made by starboards. Okay. That is the frame of something else. Then abated. Abated means to put an end. They think that because Wavewalker was totally smashed, both the author and his wife thought that they were going to abate their life. Okay. Next, auxiliary. What it means? To give extra help. The Wavewalker's auxiliary engine had stopped working. I hope that you people have understood the part of this video. Hopefully that you people going to understand it. If any problem, please do write in the comment section with your name and with your class and roll number. Okay. I will be coming back soon. Before I sign off, students, what you have to do, like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. But what you have to do also, one thing, ring the bell icon to get the further notification. Thanks.
Ile Amsterdam is in oval shape. It is on active volcano. It is also known as volcanic island. It is in the southern part of Indian Ocean. It is famous for French scientific base. These are the 3 questions from the summarized paragraphs as assignment number 4.